I am so excited because summer is like only 8 weeks away. Let that sink in. Okay, if you wanna glow up in time for summer, if you wanna transform your body, if you wanna rock that bikini this year, girls, we are going to meal prep. We're gonna plan now so that we can hit our goals, so that we can look and feel our best. So I have typed up today's meal prep plan, and I'm gonna be sharing the full grocery list, all of the ingredients, the recipes, everything that you need to know will be linked in the description box below so that you can recreate the entire meal plan today, or if you just wanna pick and choose some recipes to try, it's all there for you. And of course, it's completely for free because that's how I roll. If you liked today's video, make sure you hit the like and the subscribe because it helps small channels like mine grow and it tells the algorithm that it's worth watching. So if you feel that way, it would mean a lot to me. Okay, let's meal prep. If you're new around here, I am a stay-at-home mom. I have 4 kids and life is busy, but I prioritize health and fitness because that's important to me. One of the ways that I do that is I focus on eating a high protein diet because that really fuels my body. It gives me the energy that I need as a busy mom, and I just feel my best when I eat that way. So you can always count on a good source of protein, a good carb, and some healthy fats and veggies, all of that good stuff. Today's menu, we are going to be making some egg muffins. I love these things. They're so convenient, they're high protein, and they're just delicious. So we're gonna be making those. Some Moroccan mint with curried spiced meatballs. I know it sounds really random, but I promise you it's so good. And I'm also gonna be making a really simple mango chutney to go with it and a herb yogurt sauce. Yes, I know that seems like a lot, but it's actually pretty simple to make, and my kids loved this when we had it for dinner the other day, so I'm going to just meal prep that because it's good. And I'm also going to be making some buffalo chicken stuffed sweet potatoes. I do apologize if you don't like sweet potatoes because I truly cook them all of the time because I love them so much. But if you're not a sweet potato girl, you can always do a regular baked potato. But I do recommend sweet potatoes because they are a complex carb, they digest a little bit better, and we're trying to glow up here. So we're trying to do the best that we can, and that is one of my favorite carbs. Okay, that is everything that we're making today, so let's get started. The first thing we're gonna do is gather all of our ingredients and just get them on the counter so that I am not wasting time running around my kitchen trying to collect everything as I go. And I'm also gonna get started on preheating my oven to 400 degrees so that I can get my sweet potatoes in there right away because they will take the longest. So the main source of protein is going to come from chicken breast, lean ground beef, also cottage cheese, which is an excellent source of protein, plain Greek yogurt, egg whites, and whole eggs. So we're gonna start with the sweet potatoes. Because we're baking them whole, they're definitely gonna take a while to fully cook and get nice and soft on the inside. So what I like to do is wrap them first in parchment paper, and then I also will wrap them in foil. I like to do this because I'm not a big fan of aluminum foil cooking with my food or touching my food, so I just feel like this is an extra step that is worth taking. So I'm just popping them in the oven. The oven's preheated to 425, and I'm just letting those cook for a little bit while I prepare my chicken breast. So this chicken is really simple. I'm just drizzling a little bit of olive oil, salt and pepper, and then sprinkling a little bit of garlic powder, flipping it and doing the same on the other side. Now once the chicken is fully seasoned, I'm just gonna set it aside and not put it in the oven quite yet because I wanna get started on my meatballs so that they can cook at the same time and I only have to set one timer. So the full recipe for these meatballs are in the description below. The free document is linked there. But essentially, I'm just using a package of ground beef, adding some almond flour, egg. I have fresh herbs, so I'm adding some parsley, also some fresh mint. And I'm also going to be chopping up a little bit of extra so that I can keep it on the side and use it in some of my other recipes as well. I have to admit, when I first thought of adding mint to ground beef, I really wasn't sure how this is going to work or how it would turn out, but I was so pleasantly surprised that it just adds this bright, fresh flavor to the meatballs, and paired with the curry spices and the garlic and the parsley, everything just blends together perfectly, and I am a huge fan of these meatballs. They are so yummy, especially with the mango chutney sauce and also the garlic herb yogurt dressing that we're gonna make as well. For the spices in this recipe, I'm adding in a ground curry powder. I also have some ground cumin that I'm gonna add in, along with some ground coriander, a little bit of salt, of course, and also a little bit of pepper. And this is such a nice touch. I'm just zesting a little bit of a lemon and adding that in as well. Next thing you want to do is prepare a large baking pan by just putting some parchment paper, and you're going to mix all of the meat mixture together. Be careful not to overmix it or the meatballs can become a little bit chewy. So just gently mix everything together, form them into little meatballs, drizzle a little bit of olive oil over top, and that's it. They're ready to go in the oven. All right, now I'm gonna get started on my mango chutney. So I'm just using frozen mangoes, which is really simple and convenient, and it works perfect for this recipe. I'm adding a splash of apple cider vinegar and a little bit of honey for sweetness. This recipe pairs so well with these meatballs, guys. You have to try it, and it's so easy to make. I also have some fresh ginger. So my little trick with ginger, whenever I buy it fresh, I just put it in the freezer and then I pull it out and grate it into my recipes. It works perfect. I also added a little bit of cinnamon and a tiny bit of these red chili pepper flakes, just for a tiny bit of heat. A little bit of salt, and then I'm gonna pop it on the stove top with a lid and let it simmer for about 15 minutes or so. Just reducing the temperature now to 400. I'm going to put my meatballs and my chicken in now. And I'm setting my timer for about 18 minutes, and that's when the meatballs should be done. And then I'll let my chicken cook a little bit longer. Voila. I have to say, it is the most satisfying thing putting ingredients away as you're finished with them. It's just so good. For the veggies, I am just doing a simple green bean. I'm just gonna steam it, and I'm using frozen beans because this is the biggest time saver. They're already trimmed. You don't have to take out a cutting board. So simple. Highly recommend frozen vegetables when it's convenient and you don't have all the extra time or you don't want to dirty up more dishes. These are awesome. Let's get started on the egg bites. If you are grossed out by having the chunks of cottage cheese mixed in with your egg bites, then you can just throw them in a blender and make it smooth. However, I am not going to do that because I don't want to dirty any more dishes and it doesn't bother me, so I'm just going to put it in as it is, but that's totally your call. Cottage cheese. Voila. Can put this away. 1 cup of egg whites. Oh, perfect. There we go. 2 eggs. We have light feta cheese. It's gonna add lots of flavor. Good chunk, about a 1/3 cup. That looks about right. Just gonna crumble it with my fingers. Apparently light feta cheese does not crumble as easily as like a full fat feta cheese. And then we're gonna chop up 1 cup of spinach and add that in, and salt, pepper, and a little bit of spice. We're good to go. Give this a little whisk first. So this recipe lasted about 1 day in my household because my kids got a hold of them and they are really delicious. So just make sure that you double this recipe if you have hungry kids in your house as well. But with the spinach, you wanna chop it up really finely. And I also wanna let you know Don't be alarmed if the recipe seems a little bit watery or too liquidy. I promise you, once it bakes, it will bake just fine. It's just because of the egg whites that we added, but everything will cook. It's perfect. Don't mess with it, I promise. And also just a note with the cottage cheese chunks, I can promise you, you won't even notice the chunks. So save yourself the time and don't worry about blending it up. Once it's paired with the feta cheese, it just all blends together and you won't even notice. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to reduce the oven to 350, put my egg muffins in, check on my chicken, check on my meatballs, and always set your timers so things don't get missed or things don't get overcooked, because that can definitely happen when meal prepping. Yeah, it can be overwhelming. So use your timers, use your phone, try to stay on top of things, and you'll be good. Now we're gonna get started on our Greek yogurt based buffalo chicken sauce. So this is a really simple dressing to make for the chicken. I'm just using plain Greek yogurt, some sriracha hot sauce, and I also have a spicy ranch seasoning, but if you don't have that, you can always substitute a little bit of garlic powder and a little bit of onion powder as well, and a little bit of lemon juice. I'm also gonna be chopping up some green onions, and this is just going to be a topping for my chicken once everything's done. Gotta try out this buffalo sauce. Oh wow, that's really spicy. Go easy on the sriracha and the spicy ranch. Oh, my husband's gonna like this one. I hope you like spice, or go easy on the sriracha. It is good though. It's really good. So when the meatballs are fully cooked, just set them aside so that they can cool. And also just check the temperature of your chicken at this point to see if it's done, cover it with foil and just let it rest. Okay, so with the mango chutney, we're going to pour in the mangoes in a shallow dish. Now you could also use a blender if you want, but again, I don't want more dishes, so I'm sticking to a plate. We're gonna just mash up the mango a little bit. That is a slippery mango. Oh my goodness. There we go. Okay, so some of these might actually be easier to use a knife. You can have some chunks. Truth be told, I almost forgot to make this herbed yogurt dressing or sauce. So I should have done this when I already had my yogurt and my garlic out, but you know, things happen. So essentially this sauce is going to be a dip for the pitas, and it's also really good with the meatballs. So I kind of just combine everything together. So I used up that leftover mint and parsley, added some garlic, a little bit of lemon juice and olive oil, and that's it. When meal prepping, I like to have at least one ridiculously simple, easy side dish. So that is these green beans. All I did was steam them, added a little bit of lemon juice, salt and pepper, and that's it. Now with the chicken, once it's done and it's rested for a few minutes, you're gonna take 2 forks and just shred up all of the chicken. Keep all of those juices and store it all together, and that will keep the chicken nice and moist. Once your meatballs have cooled, I like to keep them all in one container together, but I'm also gonna show you how I will package a full meal together so that I can take it with me on the go. So I'm just cutting up half of one pita, and I'm cutting it into little triangles, and I'm gonna store that in a dish. And then I have a separate small dish that I can remove from this container when I want to heat it up, because I don't want to heat up my yogurt sauce here. I'm going to use that as a dip for my pita wedges. So I have my meatballs. I like to have about 4 in one serving, and I top the meatballs with that mango chutney. And I also have these this red cabbage. If you can find pickled onions, that would be amazing as well, but it's more of like a sweet cabbage. This is the full meal that I will take with me. So the next dish is the spicy chicken buffalo dish, and I have my sweet potato cut in half, just fluffed it up with a fork. I'm adding the shredded chicken breast on top, and then I'm taking that spicy Greek yogurt buffalo sauce that we made, just drizzling it over the top and adding a little bit of green onion. So now my egg bites are fully cooked and they've cooled a little bit. They turned out so good. They have so much flavor. I love eating these personally as a snack. I don't really eat them for breakfast because I love to have the same breakfast almost every single day, to be honest. But these are a really great breakfast option or a perfect high protein snack. Now all that's left to do is let everything cool and put them in containers and store them in the fridge so I have lots of healthy, high protein, nourishing meals and snacks to grab for my week. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure you subscribe. I'll see you next time.